What's up guys, back in today with another reaction to Berserk, this time with volume 33, the chapters Naval Battle Part 2 and A Howl from the Darkness. Some good chapters last time out, really enjoyed this first one here with Casca unfortunately getting dropped overboard, Guts going into Saber. Lots of really nice kind of symbolism here I guess, not exactly sure what the word is, but nice little look back to the past as well, at past Casca. Love this little shot right here of Guts looking at what he's lost. Things that can't be replaced. Things that actually harm you if you replace them in some cases. But yeah, really nice chapter there. And then we started out this pirate battle with the old dog that we saw a fair few chapters back now. So Mule, I remember his name now, Mule and Isidro and such take this guy on. Sonya and Shirka as well, I believe. Although I think Shirka was just watching. But looking forward to seeing how we do end this again. Lots of nice artwork during this battle here. So let's get right into the chapters today. Do let me know what you guys think of these down in the comment section. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys did enjoy it, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. And let's get into Naval Battle Part 2. So yeah, from what I remember the last time, which was only yesterday for me, we pretty comprehensively destroyed one of the pirate ships. And it's looking really good and looking quite easy for Mr. His name Roderick. Mr. Roderick here. Oh dear. Puck's got his eyeball stuck in there. Yeah, I didn't realise just how much of a badass on the sea this guy would be, but he very much is so. You'd best not challenge one of the IF's cutting edge galleons with those slowpoke carracks. What? You're hitting them? And they ain't even close. Oh yeah. How is Isidro seeing through this? I guess we're kind of linked. But yeah, easy work so far. Woo! Easy work so far. Bloody hell, look at this. A barrage of cannons right here. This ship is pretty much all but done for. Again, you gotta love the intricacy and the artwork of drawing these ships, haven't you? Really is fantastic. Every little detail. Oh dear. These guys just getting blown away. This is bad, boss man. The sea louse and mud snail both have broken main. And foremasts. They can't sail. Easy work. Mud snail. I like the names for these ships here. Don't back down! We've just got to find some way to get the captain's shark rider close enough to board him. But how? Captain Shark Rider. Is that the name of this ship then? Another pretty cool name. With grit. Bite into him. This guy likes biting people, doesn't he? Hey! Support. He's like a little baby. Support. Bout ship. Hard to port. Bout? Sung bout? Sumo bouts. Oh. Lovely. The ship's gear and sailors are top notch, but her captain's a dimwit. What? Oh, what a prince. He's turned himself downwind in a sea battle. Everyone knows he who has the wind has the advantage. Hard to port. Draw to them. Draw onto them now. We can't, boss. We're caught between the sea louse and mud snail, and the ship can't turn. What? Did he not realise how he was literally trapped in between these ships right here? That can't move. The only way you can go is straight. I'm not sure ships can go backwards. I'm no expert on ships. And there's so much smoke in the air, we can't see the seahorse. That dog. Don't tell me he planned this. To begin with, it's a big mistake to think this the windward side always has the advantage. I can't see through the smoke. Out of the way, sea louse. It doesn't matter, just fire anyway. From upwind, the smoke hangs in front of your field of vision, making it hard to sight the enemy. And from downwind, the sturdy flank facing the enemy gradually rises. Okay. Captain, please put your head down. Whoa! Which makes it hard to hit the decks where the crew are. Conversely, the upwind exposes their deck to the enemy. Additionally, we omit the labour of ramming in each other. Additionally, we omit the labour of ramming it in each other in each of our cannonballs. We omit the labour of ramming in each of our cannonballs, and our angle of fire is better. Got the ship genius right here, Mr. Roderick. Ah, just keep firing away while we get through this smoke. She's up ahead of it. Again, pretty destroyed as well. Gone? Where'd she go? Not sure how you lose a whole ship, even if you're covered in smoke. Ahoy! It all comes down to how you utilise the situation. Yeah, good show, good sir. Salute. Naval custom indicates that the sorry, I don't know how I was going to read that. Dictates that the tar-stained palm be turned downward. When did that dog get upwind? That's just too fast. Talk about turning speed. Is that ship a monster? Ready the starboard cannons. We won't make it in time. Yeah, so we're literally right behind them. Wah! Wah! Be careful how high you put that arm, Puck. Be careful. Yep. Absolute obliteration right here. From point blank range. But, boss man, we can't keep this up. We're going to get wiped out. I knew it. We shouldn't have picked a fight with the sailing Prince of If. Oh, shut up, you. He's made a goddamn fool of me. We're withdrawing. Yes, dogs. Yeah, sorry. We're withdrawing, you dogs. Cast all heavy cargo overboard and get our asses out of here at top speed. It's a little bit late for that, isn't it? The ship is wrecked. Boss man, what about the sea louse and the mud snail crews? Those who fall behind get left behind. Wait for me. I won't forget this, sailing Prince of the If. I hope a shark bites your ass. Okay, Isidro, learn some manners, bro. Learn some manners down there. This is what you should be doing. Respectful. Respectful and I think I'm missing the word, but resolute perhaps, I don't know. I like that part. Do we pursue? Let them go. After knocking them down that much, they'll be fine prey for other pirates and privateers. Privateers? Besides, why would we do something as inelegant as capturing those squalid fools and making them sail together with my fiancée? What the fuck is squalid? Squalid. Extremely dirty or unpleasant. Or contemptible lack of morals or standards. Okay? I guess that fits. That does fit. End of the battle, gentlemen. Well done. I permit a cup of rum to all those off duty with nothing to do. Bit of a shame for those working right now, isn't it? And for those that working that helped, you get nothing. Go inform a lady in the hold. Huh? What's that look for? So you're not just a wussy lady killer? Or an irresponsible captain either? Indeed. Roderick is the real deal. I've seen many fakes, many losers in positions similar to him, so I think it was fair to expect him to be not the best character, but he's proven us all wrong. Oh dear. The bombardment seems to have ended. Oh dear. You know, I guess that's quite handy. Casca's like a little cat taking care of the rats. Quite gruesome as well. So they don't have the plague. I guess it would be much less likely to have a rat carry the plague on a ship. I guess I don't know. Obviously, rats get into ships somehow by boarding them on land, I imagine. But you've got to imagine maybe the ones that stay in the ships, again, probably much less likely to have the plague. So I guess if you're going to encounter a rat somewhere, might be the best place to do it. How's Guts' condition? His fever has risen again due to the burns he cannot perspire. Sorry. Looks stressed, like he's having some bad dream. That's my take anyhow. Teacher, can you dispel the nightmare using magic? Well, I can, but Guts' debility is intense. So I would think I would instead become a liability. All we can do now is leave him to be. It's this little bit of his dream right here. Shackles. Some pretty nasty looking chains and whatever these are. And back to those big old teeth, which we see a lot. Oh wow. His big teeth are his in a way. Those teeth that we see a lot from the eclipse. Pretty damn awesome image right here, isn't it? Reminds me a lot of the Unchained cards from Yu-Gi-Oh! I guess that's his kind of rage and his kind of dark entity chained in for the minute, locked down, ready to cause some ruckus. Really nicely drawn though, again, isn't it? Actually, the chains. I like a lot of like chains and stuff, like edgy chains and such. They look pretty damn real, don't they? Gurren. And that was the end of that chapter, which went by very quickly, didn't it? I guess it's because there was a lot of battle in there. Another nice little artwork here. Again, same artworks that we saw in the last volume. I do hope they change these up a bit because I like them. I really like them, but obviously this kind of happened in the last volume. It's not happening right now. Don't get me wrong, it seems a bit pretentious, honestly, to ask for more work from the author, considering how good the work is, but You get what I mean. It might be a bit stale if we see these same images every time. But yeah, good chapter here. Again, this fight obviously was nothing special. It's just a show of how good. That's the most important thing, really, isn't it? It just showed how good Roderick was in his sea battles here. Man, doesn't everyone know this? Doesn't everyone know this is part of him? Yeah, that guy's a bit of a cannibal, isn't he? That Captain Boss Man. He really is a bit of a cannibal. Well, I can imagine the puck lines are probably quite hard to read in person, and maybe if you can't zoom in, luckily again they've got the pleasure of zooming in, but I imagine it would be quite hard to read some of the dialogue if you weren't able to. And that is pretty much all the comments. So we'll move straight into the next chapter. This one was very short, wasn't it? But we'll get straight into the next one, which is the most likes yet of any chapter from this volume and the last volume, I believe, as well. Howl from the Darkness. So maybe we're going to be continuing this nightmare, it looks like. Yeah, it looks that way. Yeah, Guts is really looking quite terrible here, isn't it? This shot especially looks terrible. Do you know what was quite funny? I think I said about this movie the other day. Well, not the other day, but a while ago. About a movie called Evolution, which I used to love as a kid. I just recently, I bring it up because I just recently rewatched a scene of it with a horrible little mutant insect going up some guy's bum. I don't remember being I think it's like a 12 plus or whatever movie, whatever rating that is. But yeah, it's got a bit of crudeness in there, more than I remembered. That's quite a funny scene. Used to really like that movie. It's got some good actors in there. I think it's got, is it Julia Roberts? Julia Moore, actually, I think her name is. Yeah, Julia Moore. I really like Julia Moore. She's in some great films, isn't she? Just take a moment out to appreciate some of the movies. I haven't seen May December yet, but apparently that's pretty good. Yeah, she's in a lot of great movies. I haven't seen Hannibal either. I've obviously seen what's it called? Silence of the Lambs. I brought this up before. I remember seeing it back in my local supermarket. It was always on display, and again, as a kid back in the day, you'd always just have to usually go off a movie based off the artwork cover and what you again initially see. So they were a bit more important back in the day, these kind of images on the DVDs, but that one's always scared me so much. This one always, it's not even really horrifying, but this one always really scared me for some reason. I didn't even really kind of notice this horrible face in there. It looks like, now I zoom in, is that, I'm not really sure what's going on with that actually. Is there like a human head on top of there? Is that like the girl Buffalo Bill kind of abducts? I always love that quote. Pours the water on his body over against the hose again. But yeah, I don't know why. This is not like the most horrific kind of cover artwork for any horror movie, but I never watched this as a kid because this always shat me up, and I don't know why. It just had a horrible effect on me. I was always a big fan of bugs as a kid, and it's just like a human face, but something about that really just screamed like, don't watch it. Like, don't watch it. But obviously I watched it a few years ago now, and it was really, really good. Really enjoyed it. Watched it a couple times now. But yeah, she's in some brilliant movies. The Big Lebowski is a big one. She's in Evolution, as I said. Don John's a pretty good movie. Oh, I didn't. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, she is in Carrie. It's honestly not really a memorable movie. The Carrie remake. The original is a lot more memorable to me. Probably because, again, I watched the original one as a kid. But yeah, I recognise her most probably from The Big Lebowski, probably. I really like The Big Lebowski. I don't understand the hype fully though. I really like it. It's very funny. But I don't see this kind of all-time classic that it's been heralded as. I'm missing like something. Maybe it's not heralded as an all-time classic, but it's like it's got ridiculously high rankings. Again, it's a fun movie. Boogie Nights as well. I watched that last year. Very good movie. It's got lots of stars. One of my favourites in that was Where Is the Man? Philip Seymour Hoffman. What an actor he is as well. Love him. It's a shame about the fact that he died, but he's amazing in everything I've seen him in as well. But yeah, let's get back to the main topic here. Guts looking in absolute peril. Guts! He's burning up! Oh, another really awesome shot right here. Again, I'll get the artworks up that I was talking about from Yu-Gi-Oh! I think this is probably based off Guts. These only came out a few years ago. But yeah, these remind me of like these chained up kind of beast monsters here. They look very similar actually. Much more similar than I actually thought. Obviously a little bit different. Yeah, these are like chained up kind of soul dogs as well. All of them. It's quite funny as well because they say unchained, but they're all literally chained. That might be just an English translation thing. I don't know. But you see that a lot with Yu-Gi-Oh! There's a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Kind of takes a lot of inspiration and references from a lot of kind of big media and such. Yeah, again, lovely artwork yet again right here. Don't think you can bind me with this yoke. The moment you acquired that shell, I had already been released. I mean, very true. He was released instantly. What yoke is he talking about? The yoke of Casca and his companions? The clever witch thinks she's tamed me, but that's just temporary. Your new companions, those you protect, warm lights, fine for now. You cling to those trifling chains. So are they the chain? Yeah, I guess they're those people and those interactions are the chains that bind us for now, Shirker and everyone. They're the yoke of the chains that bind. But the closer they get to you, the more they entwine about you, the more exposed they are to death. Then someday you'll be smashed and torn, just like that time in the eclipse. Make them precious to you. It's all the more to lose. Like it makes a good point there. What if the same thing happens to Shirker and such that happened to Casca? Will he he'll get even more berserk multiple times? Back then we had a lot to lose, but now, would you say we have more to lose now? I don't know. I'll say it's an equal amount. So it'll have a very similar experience, and this time, will he be able to recover from it? Who knows? Thing is, I don't think there'll be an event like the eclipse again, but there'll definitely be potential events that could kill or debilitate these characters, that's for sure. Again, some really cool artwork here with the chains. Again, chains are always really cool, aren't they? No one will be able to prevent that moment. You'll find yourself consumed by me. May we run rampant with hatred and wild joy, just to crush these with these fangs, the true light that burns us. Griffith. Look who's a big boy. Got a big old tummy on him. But for now, I'll obey. I'll hold my breath, deep in the darkness. I mean, for sure, this is not the last time we're seeing this, is it? Like, there's no way we're not seeing Guts go berserk again. It's just not happening. Unfortunately. Or fortunately, whichever way you look at it. Fortunately, in terms of coolness and artwork and such, really fortunate in my opinion. Again, I much prefer the design of Guts when he's berserking than just him in the armor. And some of the stuff that comes from that. Again, like a character well-being point of view, obviously not good. Within us. Deep in the darkness within us. Bound, restrained. I'll conserve my energy. And then someday. It is also quite very interesting to think about this literally like being like the way it speaks within us. Like this is a part of Guts. This was born from Guts, but it's quite interesting to think about Guts being like this, isn't it? That being this kind of down and vengeful and just awful. Like this was a part of Guts a while ago. It's almost been like separated now in a way, hasn't it? It's separated a little bit. Yeah, it's quite scary to think this was actually like part of him on the inside, and it still is. At one point, we were just going with it, and awake he is. Guts, he's come too. No, you must lie down. Are you all right? You are having quite the nightmare. What was that? Can't remember. Shirka is so cute, isn't she? My god. Well, the cutest thing I've seen in a while was the anime called A Sign of Affection that came out last week. I thought that was absolutely brilliant. Had one of my favourite moments. Again, I want to say this year, but including last year, this year and last year, had one of my favourite cute moments, honestly, with about this deaf girl and kind of fall in love again. Cutesy type anime, but very much recommend it. Based off the first episode, I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Yahoy! We won! And how? Yeah, I think it's more about how we won, honestly. It was just overwhelming, wasn't it? I don't even think we took a bit of damage. It was pretty incredible. Oh man, ship battles are awesome. The cannons went all nuts like boom boom. My ears are all ringing and now I can't hear anything. Your voice is loud too. Your voice is too loud. Huh? What'd you say? That happens, doesn't it? That happens when you look at angry Casca back there. Like the Yeti. It's like a Yeti back there. Oh dear. Do you know what I'm also playing that's got some really good sound effects? Again, sorry I keep going off topic, but I'm playing Dead Space 2 because I thought I'd try it. It was only £2 on Xbox. There's a lot of really good deals. I think a lot of them are ended now though. But you know what? I made a massive mistake about buying what was it? Bioshock. I went and played. I think I mentioned this a while ago. I played bought Bioshock so I could play it, and bought that for like £2. But then it turns out I could have bought all 3 of them for like £3 or £4. So that was a big mistake on my part. But you never know when things are going to go on sale like that. So it's a bit annoying, honestly, when you see you bought something for that price and you could have bought all 3 of the bloody games for almost the same price. But yeah, I thought I'd play Dead Space 2 because I played the original almost. I think it was almost when it came out. I remember all my friends and everyone was hyping up the first Dead Space, and I played it. I don't think I ever completed it, but I really liked it, and it was very horrifying and very good. I remember being terrified playing it. But yeah, I never played Dead Space 2. I played 3 and I didn't like 3 nearly as much. I think it's because it was made by EA, and you know what EA like to do? They like to put their fucking dirty little transactions in there and shit. And it was more like I mean, it's always been science kind of fiction, but it has mostly been horror. That one was more like science fiction kind of action than horror, honestly. And a lot of quick time kind of cutscene events in that one, so I didn't like 3 as much. But I never played 2. I just skipped 2 entirely. So yeah, I thought I'd play that, and it's been really good at the minute. Really enjoying it. I'm not sure I'm going to play the remake, but I might end up playing that at some point, maybe when it's a bit cheaper. Not going to pay full price for that. The cost of games these days is absolutely ludicrous. Both for old games in some ways. Old games, like I said, I bought Dead Space 2 for £2, so that's not that bad. But I think a couple of years ago I sold my Pokemon Red GBA for like £80 or something ridiculous, like almost like 4 times the amount I bought it for. But yeah, old classic games like the Pokemon games are really expensive. New games are like £60, £70, £80 when they release, which is ridiculous. Back when I was a kid, it was at most like £35, £40, and they've just they've hiked them up a lot, which really sucks. So it's almost now as much like nowadays you buy 3 or 4 games, and that was the price of a console back in the day. Like, I think the PlayStation 2 was like £200, £300 back in the day, or something like that. And again, you get games for like £30, £40 new, like brand new. And yeah, it's just a bit crazy how far gaming's come. I mean, everything looked great nowadays and such, but again, price-wise, it's a little bit ludicrous. So I never really buy games as soon as they come out anymore. And like I said, I'm kind of going back and playing a lot of games I kind of missed out on, or kind of heard about during my childhood and such, or just like never completed, or missed one out of the franchise or something. You know what a game that really sticks out in my mind is Spyro Year of the Dragon, and that was a game I never completed. But I'm pretty sure that's a game that it's almost like impossible to complete because it's so fucking glitchy and it's such a mess. But that was the one Spyro game I never did complete. So I've got to go back and do that at some point. They did recently release a kind of remake of them, so I might try that out. Imagine that's quite expensive as well, though. Hey, Guts, how you doing? Well, I'm definitely awake thanks to you. Huh? What'd you say? Let's head up. It's dark down here. The Singed Man. Are we ever going to see Azad's face again? He's just been lost in the armor. He's looking like he's having fun though. This is quite cute, isn't it? Looks like he's having fun. I do wonder what kind of face he's making in there though. Like, his mouth must be super wide to be around the armor like that. Oh shit! I didn't even realize. Oh no, they got a Seadro on the fucking alcohol. Oh, you know he's drunk instantly. Oh my god. Dude is drunk as a fart. Fucking hell. Oh my god. What a nightmare he's going to be for this lot. If he wasn't already with the whole shouting. Serpico's having a chill one. Ivalier and Park having a cutesy time. That's nice to see. Yeah, this is fun, isn't it? It's always a little fun on a pirate ship, it looks like, doesn't it? I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? It's been quite romanticised a little bit, pirate ships, by Pirates of the Caribbean and One Piece and such. But in reality, it was scurvy-filled infections and lots of alcohol, and you'd have to drink lots of alcohol to kind of remedy the kind of infections and such and scurvy. And it's a lot worse than it's been made out to be, is what I'm trying to say. It would actually be pretty terrible to live on a pirate ship, I think. You'd be drunk a lot, but you'd also be hungover a lot. But then again, you'd be drunk more often than hungover, I guess, because you'd be drunk 24/7. So how do you remedy a hangover? You just get drunk. But the ultimate hangover, after all said and done, now imagine drinking for like, well, I say imagine, a lot of people, there's a lot of alcoholics and such out there, which I've known a few people struggle with that. One of my friends actually really struggled with that. A couple of my friends actually really struggled with drinking. Like, they'd always drink every day and by themselves and such. And I've never drunk really at home, or I've drunk by myself a few times, but I've never really enjoyed it. But so I've never really understood. But yeah, they always had troubles with drinking every day by themselves, and they had issues of like not drinking enough water, so they'd have like kidney stones and stuff, and quite scary. Yeah, you got to imagine it'd be one massive hangover after all said and done. But yeah, I've never been a big fan of alcohol. It's always been a very nasty drug. I've used to drink a lot. Again, I've always drunk from a young age. I've mentioned a few times about me being the older looking guy, so I'd always buy the alcohol for the parties and for everyone. But I've never really enjoyed it. There's that stage of feeling good drunk, and then that lasts for like half an hour, and then for me it's just like a chore, looking after stupid people, making dumb decisions and feeling stupid. And I don't know, I don't really drink much anymore. And the worst part for me again is the next day. Like, feeling like, who wants to feel like crap the next day? Like, who wants to have a day of doing nothing and feeling like shit, going to work and just feeling terrible because you're at work and you're hungover, like a double whammy. But in England, a lot of people love their drinks, so I'm very much in the minority of that. Ooh, I drank, I sang, I made some noise. Who is he trying to be here? Honestly, looks a bit like me, with a bigger moustache. Oh, ain't that an apple barrel? Sweet. Let's see. Maybe some dessert. Isn't that what they make the wine out of? Or is that grapes? I forget. No, cider. Cider, the apples, that cider's made out of apples, is what I'm trying to say. Hate cider as well. That used to be the drink of choice back when we were like 14, 15, because you could just buy like 2 litres for like £3. You'd end up just getting like loads of them. I remember one time I got caught by police with like 3 of them. I had to empty all the cider out on the side of the street. That was yeah. Got away with quite a lot, to be honest with you. I got away with quite a lot when I was a kid. Been caught a few times by the police. Yeah, enough of me being a little menace, which again I very much was back in the day. You're looking really rough, man. Sure, thanks to you. So what's this matter of importance? I happened to overhear some of the crew. This Skellig island that they're headed for is known amongst sailors as the legendary Island of Elves. Apparently, legend says a great elf king dwells there or something. It's not just a legend. I'm a merchant, unlike the sailors. I don't happen to have a mind that swallows superstitions. But things are different this time. After all, we have living proof on the ship, 2 of them, in fact. 2 of them, in fact. And? What are you trying to say? I want you to help me. With you and your ship's firepower, we'll conquer the legendary Elf Island. Fuck off. Fuck off, man. Kill this guy. I don't care if he's fine, he's his brother. This guy's in way over his head. You can hardly sail. Maybe I'm a bit harsh there with killing him, but no. Surely we're not agreeing to this from this idiot. Yes, think of it. Elves. Man. Elves. They show up in every country's fairy tales. And they're real and alive. I thought that the current events really get into me. I thought I genuinely read that as, and they call it Epstein Island. Oh my god, the current events are really getting to me. I wouldn't say I'm invested in that, but another one of my friends was super kind of conspiritual. Is that the word? I don't know. Into conspiracies, and always would talk about Epstein and his island and these paedophiles and such. Yeah, no one ever really wants to hear about that stuff, but it needs to be talked about. But yeah, the current events really playing on my mind right now, and they called it Epstein Island. Obviously, some disgusting stuff going on there. Hopefully, everyone involved in that gets brought to justice. But seems like I did watch a video on it relatively recently, and it seems a lot of people involved in that case have died within the past few years. So yeah, and they call it an elf island. Wouldn't there be veritable swarms of them? It's a gold mine. If we capture them and sell them to royalty and nobility of different countries. No, eventually we'll breed them, popularize them, and build a huge market for them. The masses will leap to buy them, especially women and children. You just know this is not going to happen. So we're trying to make a slave trade almost of elves. This guy's got some big aspirations for such a little man, hasn't he? What the fuck is this? Well, no use asking me. You better ask him. Him? So what has happened here? It looks like a Kim Possible character right here. Oh, so they are just apples. I kind of expected Puck to be in here kind of drinking a load of cider. But he's put his little disguise on an apple. I'm not sure what this is a reference to at all. But he's already chomped through a few apples, my god. Apologies to Mr. Dezaki, the director. Mr. Dezaki. Okay, the first thing that comes up is a Reddit talking about this. Again, we had a while in Berserk where we actually had the references. I'm not sure what happened with that. That was a great addition, wasn't it? And they actually kind of expanded on the references. Treasure Island. Okay. Just an old school. Oh, there he is. There he is. So I guess it's an old school pirate. Yeah. Yeah, that is him. Right there. That is exactly him. And we've actually apologised to the director of that. Sorry, I had to rip off your show. Well, it's not even rip off, but reference it. What? Wait, let's make a deal. King, wouldn't you like to be king of the elves? That's right. Someone who knows the inner workings of that island is crucial to this plan. If you help us with this. And if we manage to conquer the island, I promise you the throne. How about it? Us? Am I a part of it now? And there he is. Elder King Park. Looking very, very suave. I do always like those little roles. I've never seen that in person. Never seen anyone with a moustache with that. Never seen anyone with a beard with rolls like that either in real life. But I always thought that looks really cool. I did. I've tried a few interesting kind of beard and mustache styles, especially like I haven't recently, but when I was as I've mentioned about me always looking older, I had a mustache when I was like 13 or 12, at the start of high school. So I wouldn't say I got bullied for it, but I definitely stood out because of it in a bad way. In what I kind of thought was a negative way anyway, but eventually that would almost turn into a kind of popularity points for me. Honestly, I'd turn like I'd shave it, and then I got a swarm of popularity, and then I grew it back, and I was popular. And I've always looked at that time in my life of being popular or kind of appreciated by people, I guess, as a kind of bad part of my life. Honestly, I think I would have actually preferred always kind of going. Because you have a lot of fake relationships as well. I'll say there you got a lot of fakeness, a lot of yeah, it's actually bad. Kind of, I look at that popular time in my life as being a bad point, and that's probably one of the reasons I changed from kind of being that kind of delinquent, horrible, horrible guy, honestly, to a bit more reserved, quiet, and yeah. I never really liked that time in my life looking back, which sounds crazy because as a kid and such, you always want to be popular, always want to be liked and such. But kind of move past that, and then when you look back, you understand that actually that was just like such a fake time in my life with so many fake people and so many just like labels and such. And yeah, I don't know. I always find it interesting looking back at that time. Always find it interesting. I'm not sure how this has reminded me of that, but yeah, as I said, I'd always shave, and then sometimes I'd have like a little Hitler mustache, which is quite funny back in the day. So at times I'd have a little line or just like that little dot. I don't know why people think that's cool, but some people have like a little dot. Sometimes I'd just shave everything here and just have like that little that little lump there. Some pretty cheesy beard styles. It's a shame because I haven't really tried, but I don't really want to look scruffy. That's the thing about growing a beard; you end up looking scruffy for like months. I haven't tried it, but I imagine it would look very scruffy for months. I've grown this bit out about that long before, but I don't think I can grow a nice beard. I'd love to. A beard looks absolutely fantastic. I'd love to, but I don't think it's a bit not patchy, but it's just not enough kind of hair there for me. Not sure when there will be, but I'd love to. I've always had this, so I've pretty much always had this kind of style of. My favourite is, so you guys see a lot of this kind of just shave style for me, where it's like I've maybe shaved like 3 or 4 days ago and it looks like this. This is always my kind of preferred look. I don't mind it when it's a bit longer than this, but anything longer than maybe over a week or so of not shaving is a bit too much for me. But I like the kind of just shave look for myself. Again, I would like to maybe grow a beard. Maybe not as quite extravagant as this, but a big gold bushy beard at some point. Lower thy head. Yes, sir. You're standing on it though. Good luck with that. I love the reaction here from Roderick. Honestly, shoes. It's my wife's. I smell them. Oh, tasty. Can't imagine they smell very good, even as a woman during these times. They probably smell like shit. Oh, my wife's shoes. My wife to be. That's the thing. Even if these guys don't get married, will they always be considered? What do they call it? I forget what they call it now. Engaged. They'd always be engaged, I guess, won't they? Can you like call off an engagement? I guess you can, yeah. But it'd be quite funny if we go through the rest of the story with these guys being engaged but never being married. But actually, I think that might be the way it goes, honestly. Wow. Barnice? Roderick? Don't move. My lady's just full of surprises. If it's not one thing, it's another. I think Serpico would also be quite happy with Roderick being her husband, honestly. He's a nice guy. He's a good guy. I'd be much more happy about it now. What brings you way up here? I'm sorry, is it a problem? No, it's nothing like that. What's the matter? Are you sobering up? Feels chill. I'm feeling a chill right now. It's freezing. It's absolutely freezing here. Oh, isn't that nice? Thank you. Today my magic training had me higher than the top of this mast. I looked down on the ship and the ocean from the way up in the sky. It was an experience overflowing with frightening freedom and delight, as if I had melted into the sky and sea. I could go anywhere and become anything. I was filled with a sense of omnipotence. Omnipotence? Omnipotence. How would you say that? Omnipotence? Omnipotence. 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 Yeah, how would you pronounce that? I think it's omnipotence, but omnipotence also sounds okay. When the moment passed and I returned to the physical world, I was, as ever, nothing more than a small drop, floating on the sea upon which I looked. Never mind that. I'm not of any real use. I can't even heal him the way Teacher does. I envy the guy. The luck of the wounded, eh? That's not true. Sure, your companions are each very flashy in their own way. But that's what stands out about Farney. She's not flashy. She's not overly kind of exposed. And that's absolutely fine. But you learn this when you sail a ship. Officers, gunners, troops, sailors, the cook, cabin boy, and the doctor. They're all important. You need everyone. That's what he's trying to say here, isn't it? If they don't each fulfill their role, a ship doesn't truly go. Isn't it because you're responsible for that girl that they're able to rampage freely the way they do? From that perspective, aren't you the one of whom they're most thankful? After all, Guts is the boss, and he trusts you with with what seems to be most important to him. Oops, that might not have been very comforting. Oh, that was brilliantly done. That was some great words there, Roderick. I think that was beautifully said. Beautifully put. He makes a fantastic point, doesn't he? She's like the engine worker. Nice. You can't see her on the face of things, but she's the one putting in all the coal and getting everyone to kind of, yeah. She's fueling the ship. Very well said, Roderick. Thank you. I'm sure that's true. I shall rule all. Huzzah! This guy. Is that everyone's sleeping? Oh. Guts looks a little shirker. And then to the night sky. Probably, well, I say thinking about that dream. He said he couldn't remember the dream. But maybe vaguely thinking about it. Okay, so that is the end of these chapters. Really good couple chapters again today. Again, Roderick showing yet again what a bit of a legend he is. But again, some beautiful artwork here. Lots to think about in this respect, isn't there? Yeah, some pretty cool chapters again. Like I said, the Navy battle wasn't amazing, but it was a nice bit of fun, wasn't it? And then I really like the chapters we got just before the naval battle and the afterwards, kind of again just going over some themes and some characters and such. I thought that was actually really nice. But yeah, let's read some comments here quickly before we finish off. Anyone else noticing the parallels with Guts' inner demon dog thingy and the Fenrir wolf from the Norse mythology? I don't really know too much about this Fenrir wolf, but again, that's another thing that's in Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's in Yu-Gi-Oh! Quite a lot, honestly, this Fenrir. And I've heard it in a few bits of media about a Fenrir, but I don't really know all too much about it. The story of Fenrir will... Oh, thank God. It's actually going to tell us. Story of the Fenrir wolf is it used to be a small dog and got along well with the war god. Eventually he grew too big and strong, so the gods feared him and attempted to chain him with the biggest links of iron they could, but he broke out. Eventually they were able to get the dwarves to make the strongest bonds they could, and it was twine or string or something like that. So Fenrir wolf wouldn't is really not well. This is really not well written. So Fenrir wolf didn't trust the gods to put that on him, and only allowed them to under the condition that a god would put their hand in his mouth so they don't release him. So if they don't release him, he would bite off the hand. Tyr volunteered and lost his hand. Fenrir wolf is also prophesied to escape during Ragnarok, kill Odin, and eat the sun and moon. Well, that sounds promising for Guts, doesn't it? Who would be the sun and... Well, yeah, I mean, that kind of fits in nicely with the shot at the end here, honestly. The moon, does that reference Shurka? The sun, is that Casca? That's what I'm imagining anyway, the sun being Casca and the moon being Shurka, as he looks into the moon here, after looking at Shurka. Again, thanks for this guy for actually giving us this context right here. Might be a bit of a foretelling of future events, perhaps. Hopefully not. Hopefully not, because that sounds terrible. But the demon dog represents Guts' hate and rage, and it used to be a lot smaller until the eclipse happened, where Guts also lost his hand. In this chapter, it is bound by thick chains and wants to eat Griffith, the sun, and Guts, the moon. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that checks out as well, with Griffith being the sun, the kind of light, and Guts being the moon, the darkness. That also checks out, but I think that also, again, checks out for maybe Casca and Shurka, perhaps. I think it's going to either end up being bound by twine in the form of Guts accepting his past and moving on with Casca, or eventually escaping and fulfilling its promise after it seems Guts gets a happy conclusion, especially killing someone like Casca. Specifically killing someone like Casca. Okay. That was an interesting little bit of context right there, wasn't it? Again, I wonder how much our author of Berserk here will take from that. Hopefully not that much, but interesting that's based off that. There's obviously, must be, as we've seen in this chapter today, some coalition between the two stories. Yeah, this last panel here was really nice, wasn't it? With Guts looking into the moon. Actually, that's like the cover of an album right there. This. A lot of love for this last panel here. I guess that's the thumbnail for today. Well, I find this quite interesting. To be honest, Guts is kind of handsome, but only if he didn't have to undergo such a grueling journey. I feel like it's that journey that makes him that, like, who he is. If that sounds obvious for everyone, it's their journey that makes them who they are. But would Guts be who he is without this grueling journey? No, not at all. Would he look the way he does? Not at all. He actually looks. Some people actually look better with scars and kind of undergoing kind of massive pain and such. Obviously, there's plenty of people that look terrible with massive scars and such, but some people actually look better because of that, and I feel like that's probably the case with Guts. Again, compare him to the earlier drawings of Guts. Obviously, he's grown and he's aged, but he looks kind of like a newborn baby's butt, just like clean and kind of smooth. Whereas now he looks again kind of chiseled and scarred and cut up and such. Yeah, I said this earlier. At some point, this devil dog is going to be released again. Like it's guaranteed, pretty much, isn't it? Pretty much guaranteed. Magnifico. Again, Magnifico is not the most hated character for me in Berserk, but like no one likes him, do they? There's not one person out there that can say they like Arnice's brother, is there? Not one person. Do you know what? That does look a little bit like Link as well from Legend of Zelda. Another set of games I really haven't played all that much of. I've played maybe 1 or 2 of the games. The Wii one was the first one I played, and I never progressed past like 30 minutes, I don't think, because I just didn't know how. It's the thing about that game, there's really not much explained in the game for that one. From a kid's perspective anyway. Nowadays it'd be a lot easier because there's like walkthroughs and guides and such, but again, back in the day we didn't have that kind of stuff. Some games, as I've mentioned a few today already, there's some games that I just couldn't do because because I just didn't know nothing about them back then. Yeah, good couple chapters today. Thank you guys for watching. Looking forward to seeing what we got in the next couple. Again, we've had some again, the ones before the naval battle and the one after the naval battle have been some really awesome chapters, haven't they? Again, the naval battle was fun as well, but obviously again, not my cup of tea exactly. But as I said, these last 3 here sound very interesting, so I can't wait to get to them. But I should be back next time with Dream of Foresight and Fog of Death. So hopefully I'll see you guys then. Again, do let me know if you guys thought these in the comment section. Leave a like on the video if you guys did like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. And have a good rest of your day, guys.